Hey, what's up, gang? It is Adam Smith. It is Proxy Time, and yeah, I have my camera actually working. This camera working today, not this camera. This camera. Today we're working on actually a Lowry request. It is Sakashima of 1,000 Faces. So got a couple ideas with this, and I'm gonna apologize ahead of time. I have my third time having a cold, and it's not COVID. We tested for it. But third time having a cold in the last month and a half. So I'm gonna try to back away from coughing. I have my juice here when I need it. But I apologize ahead of time if I'm gonna be coughing a little bit. Okay, so Sakashima, this is what we're gonna be doing here. We have the original art. Let's get that guy up there. So we're gonna use this. Pretty nice. Look at the quality on that. So this is grabbing from Scryfall right here. But when you look at this, look how crisp this is. I found a really nice image to use here. So this is going to be pretty sweet. Have some ideas of what I want to do here. I think we're just going to have Sakashima's head here. We'll probably have that come over the text box through here. And then trying to figure out this arm's coming through. Actually, that would be nice to kind of have through the lower text box as well. But we'll see when we get there when we bring it over. But also using, now this is the line with the Hall of Faces. Otherwise, I'm using straight up from Game of Thrones, which I could probably do. We'll see how I'm feeling after we get these two done. But I thought this one was pretty cool. We have some pillars we can use with this. We got some faces down here. I think this could be a really cool. You can hear my voice is cracking a little bit too. But I think this would be a really cool depiction of Sakashima. So first off, though, I'd like to. Oh, and then at the end we will do our drawing. We did not announce in the cast what we're giving away, but we decided on a retro foil etched Sword of Hearth and Home. So that is what is going to be the stump this week. So at the end, I'll do the drawing here to see who's going to try to stump Lowry this week. But yeah, let's get started right away here. Let's just do our normal, bring everything over here. Zoom in. Yeah, it sucks. So this week dealt with, let's see, what was first? Early in the week was my son's school. They have like the automatic if somebody gets sick. My son's in first grade, excuse me. And if somebody gets sick with COVID, they have an automated system that notifies all the people, all the parents in the child's class. So I think that was Monday. We were notified that one of my son's classmates had COVID. So that's Monday. Tuesday, my youngest goes to daycare. He goes to kindergarten next year. He goes to school. He started getting actually a snotty nose. And on Monday, I think it was. And so before we sent him to school on Tuesday, we actually did it in the morning because he still had a snotty nose. We tested him to make sure I don't want to be spreading around. So we tested him and make sure he didn't have COVID. Came back negative. You know, the at home test. It sounds like you're taking a school test, but we did the take home test. It's even more so when I say it that way. Oh, wrong one. I always do that. Okay, so not alt, we are shifting it. So that came back negative. We're like, okay, get him to school. He's feeling fine. He just had a snotty nose. So let's fast forward. We go to Wednesday. We get him out of school at like 4:00, and by 4:30, 5:00, we get notified that one of the kids in his class tested positive for COVID. So with the daycare, they're a little bit more strict with all that stuff. So we had to take him out for the rest of the week, and we had to wait 5 days before we can test him. Sorry, I'm like doing this at the same time. Before we can test him and bring him back to school, they need to make sure no one has COVID. So in the meantime, I start developing a cough or a snotty nose and not feeling the greatest. And then on Friday, we got notified from my oldest school again saying another kid in his class. So we're just assuming that we had it, right? Well, we had to wait till Saturday. We kept our distance from everybody. Oh, I did my copy and paste. We are copying this. And we're pasting it. So, but you know, the tests are sold out everywhere. Luckily, a family member that was able to get one for us. Long story longer, we tested and we come back negative. So it's another freaking cold for a cold season. But man, it's just been running through us this year for, I guess it's making up for missing last year, not getting us for getting sick. 2020, I should say. 2021 winter season is kicking my butt. 2021, 2022. So I've developed this fun little cough and just crudiness. But at least it's not COVID. I mean, everybody's at this point, it's kind of going around like crazy, especially here in Minnesota. Because everybody's indoors, it's cold and all that. So sure, this is what you wanted to tune in for when you're looking at Proxy Time video to hear my COVID talk. But that's why I'm sick. It's just a cold. It's not amazing, but I'll deal with it. All right. So, like I said, let's bring this down to there. And what we are going to do, we definitely know we want this. My other thought is, okay, what is Sakashima actually doing here? Enters the battlefield, copy another. So let's test some things out before we actually get to the other part. So what I want to do, one of the ideas, I should say, bring this down a little bit more, is this arm. I think it would be kind of cool if I could get this in. So we're just going to do like a quick, what are we losing in the text box if we do this? So it'd come down like that. And probably like that. That's what I'm thinking if I was going to do it really quick. I actually did that pretty well with just doing it really quick. All right, so let's look. What does it look like? If we're bringing this up to 70, does it look like a floating arm? Kind of does. If I was actually to do this, I probably would remove this too. Yes. Now, what are we losing here? You may have Sakashima of whatever its name is enter the battlefield as a copy of a creature you control, except we're losing. Except, what are we losing there? What are we losing? Except it has Sakashima of 1,000 Faces. Other abilities, the legend rule does not apply. So we still see. Trying to think here. If we move things over just a bit, we might be able to pull this off where we're going to see this and this, and we have Sakashima's head there. Okay, so reworking this. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. All right, now let's shift her over. So let's make it so we can actually see through. This might work out pretty good, actually. Oh, not doing that. We're trying to move you. So let's move it. So it's not covering my casting cost. What are we losing here? We get the arm to come through. We pretty much get everything there. We don't come through here. Nice comment. Bots. All right. So if I keep going a little further, when do I get? You can see the power and toughness. So we lose our 3 there. It's more important to have the head go through there. Again, apologize. I'm trying to not cough into the mic as much as here. I did want to have some of the smoke come through here. So what I might do. Okay, we don't lose abilities. We can see that. So maybe if we stop right there, then we can have this smoke kind of make its way over the top. So we're going to fade it a little bit, get this there, and fade it in here. Ooh, okay, I like this idea. And we're going right here to here. Okay, so now let's get back to what we were doing. I think my stamp tool will still work. Yes, because we did not shift anything with the background. So let's work with the bottom because we know that's what we wanted to do. And then the smoke is going to take a little bit more work. So like I said, we wanted basically from the arm over, this is all going to just come off of there. That was a little too much. Be a little bit more precise with this. And shrink this down so I can get a little closer. I think I got out of line there. Maybe drop this down even more. There we go. There we go. Okay, so I got the arm there. So we're going to want this. This is our outermost part of this. So let's frame this out. Oh, went a little too far. Right there. And we come down here like this. So this way we're not losing as much of what the card does, especially since this is a newer card. It's only just over a year old at this point, so not everybody knows what it does and all that, so we don't want to lose that. So what we're going to do is we'll come down to here and then come straight across like that. I might make that actually more of a straighter line there. Ah, stop it. I'll go back to our stamp. That's what I meant to do. That. Did I go too far with that? I did all right. So it's there. Okay. So then let's get rid of that. I'll probably smooth this out a little bit. Actually, I might come down. Let's see. We want that a little higher. So I think I might keep that whole thing in there. So like right about there, and we're going to go like that. Is that what I want to do? Because see, I have this framing here. So actually, I might even go a little higher. Maybe. Let's just see what we got here. And then we're going to zoom out. I don't want to do too much there because if I'm going to take it away. Oh, that looks actually pretty cool. What I was thinking was right where that, I think I went a little too low here. So we have this dip. I almost want to back this up to wherever I stopped, but I'm afraid I went really far with lining this. Let's back up, but I think that's going to look better. So let's see. Yeah, so we went to there. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab and make a box from there over until it touches that line so we know where our base is. Okay, so that's our base. Stamp this out. So now we know how far we need to go. And then we deselect. Zoom in again, and now we can bring these together there. And that's how we figure out where we want to stop. So this is our stopping point right there. Okay. Now we can zoom out, and we can bring this a little bigger because we outlined it. So now we do the easy part. Like so. So that's what it looks like there. It looks pretty sweet. Let's see what it looks like in 70. All right. So one thing I wanted to do is do that. And we will fade it so it isn't so abrupt ending there. We'll bring it in like that. And then we can get the edges a little bit more. There. So we can still see what the power and toughness. Now, let's read this over. You may have Sakashima of 1,000 Faces. Enter the battlefield as a copy of a creature you control, except it has is 1,000 Faces abilities. The legend rule does not apply. Okay. Perfect. Sip of the water time. Now, that's the last time we're going to use... Oh, no, we will use the fade up here. Might as well do that since we have that down right now. Let's do a fade into here. So we want that smoke to come through there. So we're going to shrink this up a little bit more because we're going to try to round out these edges more. So it really looks like the smoke is kind of coming and taking over the box. So you don't have like a beginning or an end. Want a little bit more there. So every time I re-click it, take my finger off and click again, it's doing that 57% opacity again. So eventually it gets to 100% because you've gone over it a bunch of times. So now we know we want this to kind of come through here. And now we're getting more wispy. So here's where I will kind of just grab everything here at this point. But we'll leave certain parts that aren't part of the thing, part of this going through like that. Again, let's try to get rid of some of the text box up there and down here. So it looks like it's more part of, it's actually above all this. Get it? Get rid of it. That's the key. And then let's see what that looks like. Good. Let's get this here going. And that can be a solid line because we are, there's a for sure. And actually what I might do with this, because let's see what it looks. I was going to say we might want to get rid of this part there, but let's first just outline this and see how it looks. That's about where everything's going to be right there. Might just end up taking that whole part out, but oh, no, too far. That. Let's clear this up. Just kind of look at it before we decide if we want to take that part out. Control Z is like your best friend with all this stuff. So that's what it looks like there. Now if we go like that, it looks better. Much better. And in fact, I don't like how bright this is, so we're going to bring this back down again. And just get this part there. There we go. And maybe a little bit more up here. There. Whew. Sakashima's looking sexy. I don't even know if I want to do another version of this because this looks really good. Sakashima 1000 Faces. We see it's 3 casting, 1 blue, 3/1. We got everything in here that we need. So we are golden with this card. So now let's bring in the logo. It turned out really nice. This is like one of my favorites. I say that a lot though. It is one of my favorites. Okay. So probably the obvious choice is going to be going like right there on that little devil there. And we'll shift it around and kind of stretch it about a little bit like we did last week. It is on a different kind of surface. You can't just do a circle there. I mean, you can, but it's going to look better if you don't. All right, so what do we got going on here? So it's more of an oval. It's another thing we'll be dealing with here. And it looks like to get more even with the face, like that. We'll be able to see through it a little bit better. What we can do is try to match it and then move it. All right, just got to click one of the sides, then we can start skewing. Let's see. Is that how I want it? Yeah. A little bit wider at the end down here. And then what we're going to do is scale. Get back to that. And we can start to fit it into that oval shape. So it looks like, what am I missing here? This side needs to stretch a little bit more. And maybe I need to rotate just a tad. So let's skew some more. So I think this side. What was all that noise? Something's making noise on my computer. I have no idea what that is. All right, there we go. There we go. Now we're starting to get somewhere. Boom. I think we got it. I think that's what we want right there. Yeah. All right. And I don't know if I bring that much more. I think that 66% is perfect. Look at that. So that's that skewing. That's that the thing I learned this last year. Learn something every year. And I've used it all the freaking time. All right. So now let's move on. Okay. So that is Sakashima. That looks, I don't know. I'm going to top that with this one. But we will try. All right. I think what I wanted to use was the pillars on the side a little bit more on this one. We have Arya in the middle there. Let's start to see through this to see where we want this positioned. Again, we are going to be dealing with losing part of the text box here. This is way in the front, so you do want that to be in the front. One thing that we could do, I'm going to take this out of here. We're going to do a little something. Let's rotate. Nope, not 108. I meant to, not that way. Whoopsies. I want to image, rotate, flip horizontal. Okay. So the reason for it, let's bring this back in. I'll show you why. Because we have our casting costs on this side. This is one thing we don't ever want to lose. And our power and toughness is another thing we don't want to lose. So I'm fine with this side being taken out by this pillar. So what do we lose here? Sakashima of 1,000 Faces. Battlefield is a copy of another creature. Maybe we get you in there a little bit. Another creature you control. Okay. You, let's get over just a little bit. Could probably even pop it up higher. Another creature you control, except it's Sakashima. Other abilities. And then we have the legend. Okay, I think this could work this way. Might drop it down just a tad bit more. Yeah, I think that's how I want to do it. So let's crop it. And this way, we avoid having to cut out our power toughness, our casting costs. We're all golden there. Now we need to come in a little bottom. Nicely done on that like. So we bring that in. You weren't the first one to comment. We did have our first comment by a bot. Came in and wrote vor.red. I don't know what that means, but they win. All right, so that's where we'll have it there. Okay, so we'll bring this down. And now we're gonna need to, if you guys didn't see this before, I see you guys weren't on here before, but check out how the first Sakashima turned out. Freaking fantastic. If you've been on here, sorry I didn't see you on there. But yeah, that turned out really nice. And like I said early in the video, I do have a cold, so I am trying to hold back my coughs as much as possible. All right, so we need to bring this through. We know for sure this is coming. We need to bring that, and that. Okay. I might have this down too far. I want to see where. Oh, you know what I should do is try to get rid of that first. Let's do that first. It's pretty close image there, so this is going to be a little tougher. There's a lot going on Sakashima's type and everything that takes up basically this entire thing. Not enough room for the set symbol. All right, so we got rid of that. Let's go back and stamp this. My mouse moved there, so I wanted to make sure I got it. All right, and now we're back on this. I could use the cheat tool, but I feel like there's too much white going on here that it might not be able to distinguish between that lower stuff and the pillar here. Because I'm having a tough time figuring out exactly where this thing ends and begins right there. I keep missing that corner. All right, so down, grab right here. There we go. I think we're good there. Zoom out a little bit. Not that far. I'll try to fill this in a little bit more. And then kind of take a look and see how it looks with this pillar and what we're missing. We are missing what it says partner. Again, we have one that's actually in pretty good. You can see everything that's going on in the other one. So the this guy. We made sure to have all of that covered there. All right, so let's see. What are we getting this at? 70. Have Sakashima of 1,000 Faces. Battlefield is a copy of another creature you control, except it has Sakashima's abilities. Legend rule does not apply. You can see 2 commanders of both. Okay, so we can actually see what's going on with this. People that don't know the card or newer to the game might have a little bit more trouble, but for the most part, if you're playing Magic, you kind of get what is going on here. So I'm happy with that. Trying to see where this ends. So we do have a little bit of the white pillarness going right there. That was a little too far. There. What do we got up here? Okay, right there. And right there. Could use these as little wispy lines on that. Let's see. What are we doing up here? Are we on the same pillar? We are. So we are going to take that pillar there when you bring this down so you can see where I'm going here. And zoom in. There's a little bit more artsy work that I can't tell. I think that's where a pillar goes there. Yeah, I think we're good there. Like comic booky in a way. Why? Yeah, but it looks sweet. I think this really, there wasn't a lot. I wanted to do the Hall of Faces or somehow do it with Arya. This turned out perfect because it's kind of has that feel of a blue card. All right, so then the other thing I was thinking was, let's bring this down and mess with this a little bit because we do have a lot of these little wispy things. I want this one there, maybe a little bit there, and that's probably it. Yeah, not messing with those, but this one for sure. So let's get it's down a little bit, about the sides of that. Okay. Oh, went a little far on that one. Here. And we're going to grab this one, maybe a little wider. And we want to get rid of the text box on the edges there. Maybe right there, just a tad. I think I've too thick, so I want this a little bit smaller. How do we look? Ooh, that's turning out pretty nice. Let's get up to our 70. I like how that turned out, actually. All right. This actually works out pretty nice. Okay, so I didn't notice when I was bringing stuff over. Some weird little guy there. I grabbed. What did I grab? Didn't do it so you don't notice it so much right there. It'll probably be something I fixed there. What did I grab? Oh, see what I noticed there? It's a little blue is what I. So we want to get rid of that because we have the white there. There we go. Okay. Now that looks good. All right. So now we bring this guy over. We're right at that 30-minute mark. Not bad, not bad. Helps when you're not feeling well, but you still are able to get things done with this. This one, I'm really happy with both of these. To be honest, I'll probably use the first one more than I'll use this one. But this one's, you know, it's Game of Thrones. I was thinking one of those little dots. Cool. What's that little guy doing there? Let's do that little guy. Yep. Looks like the inside of a jawbreaker. Like when you have one of those big jawbreakers, you're like halfway done with it. So it's like half a circle. So it has all those rings in it. That's what this looks like right there. Man, I don't think I've ever finished one of those. I get like halfway done with a jawbreaker, and then my tongue would start bleeding, especially the beginning part where it gets all rough and everything. All right, that might be really small, so we might leave it at its... And we'll dim it down a little bit. I like it. Now it looks like Arya's actually looking at that. So sweet. What the hell? This was quick. This was nice and easy. 2 sweet proxies here. Sakashima. I like how this turned out. Maybe I'll fix this one really quick just so I know that I fix it before I save it. Yeah, see, there's a little bit of blue there. So let's just grab this. And then we'll do the drawing after that. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Appreciate you jumping on and checking it out. Yeah, we got lots of stuff ready to go here. Lowry's spotlight stuff, which I'll be doing that as well. I just don't do it as often as Lowry. That might take a slot of proxy time when I do it. Because I keep Sundays open so I can do this kind of stuff. Weekdays get a little crazy. Okay, so that worked out there. That turned out perfect. God, this one really turned out nice. The quality of the digital image was really nice to work with. So I wish I could get it looking like that each week, because that is so much better than like that is so clear and crisp. But yeah, that should do it for the proxies here. So now, as I mentioned before, I got to do the drawing for Stump The Smith Savant. This week, we are Sword of Hearth and Home. The retro foil etched ones is what we're going to be doing. So that is what is up for grabs since Lowry did get stumped last week. So let's see who is going to try to stump Lowry this week. Again, if you want to send in your stuff, you can send it to either our email at commandersmith@gmail.com, or if you're part of the Discord, you can shoot me a direct message, and that is the other way to do it. So this week's stumper, let's see, got one. Who we got? Project X. Project X. You are stumping Lowry this week, or trying to. Good luck on that, buddy. Thanks again, guys. Thanks for stopping in. We'll check you next week. Not sure what I'm doing next week. It might be another. This was a Lowry request. I have other. Last week was a request, and this next week or the following week might also be a request as well. So we'll see. Thanks for stopping in, guys. Check you next week. Have a good week. See ya. Bye. See ya.